You won't believe how quickly life can flip the script. A humble man walks into a high-end bank just trying to discuss a routine matter. But instead of help, he's met with disdain by the manager, dismissed, judged, and outright humiliated in front of other customers. The manager, smug and self-assured, thinks he knows who's in charge. Little does he realize, the man standing before him holds far more power than he could ever imagine. The tension builds as the man quietly endures the insults, showing remarkable restraint. But behind his calm demeanor lies a truth that will soon shock everyone in the room. Stay tuned to see how this stunning encounter unfolds when the real identity of the quiet customer comes to light. You won't want to miss this dramatic twist. The man's clothes were simple, his demeanor unassuming, and that seemed to be enough for the manager to write him off. As he stood there patiently, the manager's condescending tone grew sharper, almost as if he enjoyed belittling him. Other staff members watched from a distance, some exchanging nervous glances, but no one dared to intervene. What the manager didn't know was that this man had walked into the branch for a reason far more important than the small task he mentioned. He was observing, listening, and taking note of everything. His calm silence wasn't weakness, it was control. Whispers among the staff hinted that something felt off, but the manager didn't pick up on it. He smirked confidently, oblivious to the reality about to hit him. The question lingered. Who was this quiet man really? The manager, now feeling fully in control, leaned back in his chair, clearly enjoying his position of power. He spoke loudly enough for others to hear, making unnecessary comments about how people should know their place before stepping into his office. The man stood quietly, his expression unchanged, but something in his eyes hinted that he wasn't just another helpless customer. Meanwhile, a young teller at the counter observed everything. She had a feeling there was more to this man than met the eye. Unlike the manager, she noticed the quiet confidence in the way he carried himself. But she said nothing, unsure if it was her place to step in. As the manager continued his tirade, the man subtly glanced at his watch. It wasn't impatience, it was precision, as though he was waiting for the perfect moment. Just as the manager leaned forward to deliver another dismissive comment, the door to the office opened unexpectedly. Heads turned as a well-dressed executive entered, followed closely by a few senior employees. The room grew silent, and the staff stood at attention, clearly recognizing the newcomers. The man, still standing calmly, gave a faint nod to the group, and they immediately gravitated toward him. The manager's confident smirk faltered, replaced by confusion. He glanced between the man and the executives, struggling to piece together what was happening. One of the senior employees stepped forward and addressed the man with respect, calling him sir and waiting for instructions. The tension in the room thickened. The manager, now visibly uneasy, stammered as he realized he might have made a serious mistake. But the truth had yet to fully surface. The manager's face turned pale as the senior employee handed the man a folder, addressing him as Mr. Carter. The staff froze, whispering among themselves, some recognizing the name, others too stunned to react. The manager, still unsure of the connection, forced an awkward laugh, trying to regain composure. "Well, Mr. Carter," he said, his voice shaky, "I didn't realize you had such influential friends." But Mr. Carter didn't respond immediately. Instead, he opened the folder and scanned its contents with precision. He then turned to the senior employee and asked, "Is this the performance report for this branch?" His tone was calm but carried a weight that made everyone listen. The manager's unease grew. It wasn't just his attitude under scrutiny anymore. Something far bigger was at stake. And the worst was yet to come. The room was thick with tension as Mr. Carter closed the folder and finally addressed the manager directly. Mr. Thompson, he began, his voice calm yet firm, your actions today have made one thing very clear. This branch is failing not because of numbers, but because of leadership. The manager froze, his confidence shattered. Before he could respond, Mr. Carter continued, I came here unannounced to see how my staff treats our customers. What I witnessed was unacceptable. Arrogance, disrespect, and a lack of empathy. Values that have no place in this company. Guests rippled through the room as the realization set in. Mr. Carter wasn't just another customer, he was the CEO. Then came the final twist. Turning to the young teller who had watched silently, he said, you've shown patience and integrity. Starting tomorrow, you'll be training as the new branch manager. The room fell silent as Mr. Carter's words sank in. The young teller's eyes widened in disbelief, and the staff exchanged stunned glances. The manager, now completely defeated, stammered an apology, but Mr. Carter had already turned away, signaling that the conversation was over. As the teller hesitantly stepped forward, Mr. Carter offered her a reassuring smile. This company needs leaders who treat people with respect, he said. I trust you'll set the right example. The staff erupted into quiet applause, relieved to see justice served. The manager quietly gathered his belongings, knowing his time there was over. As Mr. Carter exited the branch, he paused at the door and looked back. Remember, he said, addressing everyone, true leadership is shown in how you treat those who can do nothing for you.